What if I told you that the food on your plate today could decide whether or not you suffer a stroke tomorrow? Every year, millions of seniors experience strokes that could have been prevented with simple changes in diet. And here's the surprising part. It's not always about eating less. It's about eating right. As a doctor, I've seen firsthand how choosing the right foods can literally save lives. Stay with me because in this video, I'm going to share the best diet tips scientifically proven to lower your stroke risk after 60. Part 1. Why diet matters more than you think. Doctor's voice, storytelling style. When my patient, Mrs. Thompson, came into my clinic at age 68, she was terrified. Her blood pressure was out of control, her cholesterol levels were climbing, and her doctor had just warned her she was at high risk for stroke. But instead of starting with a cabinet full of pills, we looked at her diet. 6 months later, her blood pressure had dropped, her cholesterol improved, and most importantly, her stroke risk had significantly decreased. This is not a miracle, it's science. Research from the American Heart Association shows that up to 80% of strokes are preventable, and one of the biggest factors, your diet. Why does diet matter so much? Stroke happens when blood flow to the brain is blocked or a vessel bursts. High blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes, and obesity all make this more likely. And what controls those risks? What you eat every single day. Key evidence. A study in the New England Journal of Medicine found that people following a Mediterranean diet, rich in olive oil, nuts, fruits, vegetables, and fish, had a 30% lower risk of stroke. Cutting sodium by just 1 teaspoon per day can lower blood pressure enough to reduce stroke risk by up to 14%. Transition to part 2. So now that you know how powerful diet can be, let's break down the best foods you should eat and the ones you should avoid to protect your brain after 60. Part 2. The best foods to lower stroke risk. Doctor's warm, engaging tone. Think of your kitchen as your medicine cabinet. Let's start with the foods that act like natural prescriptions for your arteries and brain. 1. Leafy greens. Spinach, kale, Swiss chard. Packed with vitamin K, folate, and antioxidants. Folate helps lower homocysteine, an amino acid linked to stroke. A Harvard study showed that seniors who ate greens at least once a day had 20% lower risk of stroke. Practical tip: add a handful of spinach to your omelet or smoothie. 2. Berries. Blueberries, strawberries, blackberries. Rich in anthocyanins that reduce inflammation. A study in Stroke Journal found that women who ate berries regularly had a 19% lower stroke risk. Practical tip: replace cookies or cake with a bowl of mixed berries. 3. Whole grains oats, brown rice, whole wheat bread. High in fiber, which lowers cholesterol. Fiber also helps regulate blood sugar, reducing diabetes risk, a major stroke trigger. Practical tip: swap white rice for brown rice or quinoa a few nights per week. 4. Fish rich in omega-3, salmon, sardines, mackerel. Omega-3 fatty acids reduce blood clotting and inflammation. Eating fish twice a week is linked to a 27% lower risk of ischemic stroke. Practical tip: grill salmon instead of steak at your next dinner. 5. Nuts and seeds. Walnuts, almonds, flax seeds. Provide healthy fats and magnesium. Magnesium relaxes blood vessels, lowering pressure. Practical tip: keep a small bag of unsalted nuts in your purse for a quick snack. 6. Olive oil, extra virgin, cold pressed. A key part of the Mediterranean diet. Replaces unhealthy fats and lowers LDL cholesterol. Practical tip: drizzle olive oil over vegetables instead of butter. 7. Beans and lentils, chickpeas, black beans, lentils. Plant-based protein, fiber, and potassium. Helps balance blood sugar and pressure. Practical tip: add lentils to soups or salads for extra protein without red meat. Transition to part 3. Now, as powerful as these foods are, the truth is that certain foods can undo all your progress. So let's talk about what to avoid if you really want to protect your brain. Part 3. Foods you must avoid. After 60, 12 o'clock, 17 o'clock. Doctor's firm but friendly tone. I've had patients tell me, "But doctor, I only eat this once in a while." The problem is, even small amounts of certain foods can raise your stroke risk over time. Let's go through the biggest offenders. 1. Processed meats. Bacon, sausages, deli meats, loaded with sodium and preservatives. Increases blood pressure and damages blood vessels. Just 2 slices of bacon daily raise stroke risk by 20%. 2. Sugary drinks, soda, sweet tea, energy drinks, spike blood sugar and lead to weight gain. High sugar intake linked to increased risk of ischemic stroke. 3. Trans fats and hydrogenated oils, packaged snacks, margarine. Raise LDL, bad cholesterol, and lower HDL, good cholesterol. Contribute to plaque buildup in arteries. 4. Refined carbs, white bread, pastries, instant noodles, cause blood sugar spikes. Increase insulin resistance, which damages arteries. 5. Too much salt. Canned soups, chips, fast food. Main driver of high blood pressure. Seniors often don't realize how much sodium is hidden in packaged foods. Key takeaway: it's not about giving up everything you love, it's about choosing wisely. For example, instead of chips, try air-popped popcorn. Instead of soda, try sparkling water with lemon. Part 4. How to put it all together. Doctor's storytelling approach. When Mrs. Thompson changed her diet, she didn't do it overnight. She started small, replacing white bread with whole grain, swapping butter for olive oil, and adding berries to breakfast. Within weeks, she had more energy, her blood pressure dropped, and her doctor reduced her medication. You don't have to be perfect. What matters is progress, not perfection. Practical daily plan for seniors. Breakfast: oatmeal with berries and flax seeds. Lunch: lentil soup with whole grain bread and side salad. Snack: handful of walnuts. Dinner: grilled salmon, brown rice, and steamed broccoli. Dessert: fresh fruit instead of cake. This is a diet that's not just heart healthy, it's brain protective. Doctor's closing tone, motivational and warm. So, if you're over 60, remember this: every meal is an opportunity to protect your brain. Choose foods that fight stroke, avoid the ones that cause it, and you'll give yourself the best chance of staying healthy and independent for years to come. Now, I want to hear from you. Which food from today's list are you going to add to your diet this week? Or what's the hardest one for you to give up? Share your answer in the comments. I'd love to know. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and share it with a friend who could use these tips. Because when it comes to stroke prevention, knowledge isn't just power, it's protection.